Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Shalita O'Neill again, founder and CEO of Fostering Change Network and creator of the nonprofit Visionaries Academy. Today, we're going to be talking about how do you solicit board members for your new nonprofit organization. I've had a couple of nonprofit visionaries reach out to me and say, hey, I have my materials. I know what I want to do and how I want to do it, but how do I actually get the right people as board members to help me with this endeavor? So I'm gonna give people a couple of minutes to join, so in the meantime, yes, y'all. Just to give a little background on me. Hey, moms. Hey, Angie. Hey, Ishan. That's right, y'all. Come on, come hither too. Let's have a conversation, okay? You need those board members. You need them now. You need quality board members, right? Because you want to learn from some of the mistakes that I made in the beginning. Not that I didn't have quality board members, but I didn't know what to ask of them. I didn't set the right foundation and the expectations. Like, what do I need them to do? What's going to be expected of me? All of that. So today we're going to talk about how do you reach out to those people to make sure you are getting the right people in place. Hashtag nonprofit no filter today. That's right, Ange. That's right. Um, so let's go ahead and get started because we got a couple people here. I know your time is valuable. Again, you on the move. So what I would say first, okay, when you're looking for board members or trying to find those right people to recruit for your board, make sure you want to build the right foundation, right? So make sure that you have a board member job description or just description, right? What are you going to want them to do? What are your expectations when you engage somebody and they ask you a question? Okay, well, what do you want me to do? Especially with people who have never been on a board, but that doesn't mean they won't be a quality board member. So you want to make sure you have that description. So you want to have that. You want to also have an application because everybody who wants to be on your board or that you might identify that says they want to be on your board may not be a good fit, right? So your application, you want to have, which will consist of, what are their interests? What's their experience? What do they want to bring to the organization? What can the organization bring to them, etc. So you want to have that in your application. You also want to have a letter of agreement as well. So make sure you have these things in place so that when you do reach out to somebody, they have an interest, you have your materials to say, okay, this is what I'm needing, this is what I'm wanting. And for those who are members of the Nonprofit Visionary Academy, the Facebook page, I'll post links in there to examples of these. And if you're not a part of the Nonprofit Visionary group, I would say go to shalitao'neill.com and sign up to be hashtag nonprofit no filter member. Okay, so let's make sure we do that. Also, what I would also say is, do you know what you're looking for? Okay, because you have an idea in your mind. Okay, I want people to help. That's great. But what types of people are you looking for? Make sure it's diverse. What kind of backgrounds are you wanting them to have? What kind of skills are you wanting them to bring to your organization? Make sure you're very clear about what do you want them to bring to the table, right? First, so you're not just casting a net in anybody and anyone. So make sure you understand what that is so you can articulate that when people begin to ask you questions about it. Also, how are you asking? Like, are you really asking? Because I know people will say, I don't know who these board members are. I'm hoping that somebody will just magically know when I'm in their space that I'm looking for a board member. No, you have to be able to ask. In the spaces that you're in, when you're going to networking events or opportunities where there's a diverse set of people that are going to be there, we talk about elevator pitches for everything else. You definitely need a 30-second or so elevator pitch for your nonprofit organization. What is it that, and part of that is your mission statement. So I'm hoping that, you've already, gotten your mission statement, your vision, the foundation of what you want to do, what you want to offer with your nonprofit, and you have to have practiced that so that when you go and you speak about it, the passion comes out, and the information comes out when you're in these settings. So everywhere, every opportunity, every place you are is a chance for you to talk about your nonprofit organization in a way that will encourage people or engage people who might want to be a board member for you. So make sure that you're being mindful of, am I actually asking people? And how am I asking? Am I sometimes asking people? Am I trying to vet people, and say, oh, well, I'm not going to mention about my nonprofit because I don't know what they're... No, just talk about it all the time in every space that you're in, especially when you're in spaces where there's professionals, where there's people that might be in the field that, you are your organization is going to be serving a need in. Make sure that you're asking first and foremost. And I would also say, who are you asking, right? So there's lots of volunteers. I'm sure if you've started doing a little bit of the work, even before you started your nonprofit, I'm sure you were doing things that led up to, okay, well, maybe I need to make this a nonprofit. So there's people who have either volunteered with you that, you have never thought to ask them to be a board member because you're thinking, oh, they have to have all these years of experience. They have to be this type of, which, I mean, if that's what you want, that's fine. But don't overlook the hidden gems in people that are working right alongside of you that would love, have already dedicated their time and have shown you that they are consistent, and invite them to possibly be on your board or to actually consider it. And they themselves might be a little hesitant because maybe they never have been on a board before. So that's your responsibility at that point to, with your materials and with the information, to let them know, what is it that you're looking for, and break it down to them so it doesn't seem so intimidating, because they may be a very, very, very valuable board member, but maybe they're just a little scared. Also, the population that you're saying you're going to work with. Now, I understand some people may, your nonprofit may be helping the babies. So there might not be a baby, you can't have a baby on the board, baby not going to pay attention, the baby don't know what's going on. But and nonprofits or organizations where you might be working with veterans, or you might be working with young adults, or you might be working with, whatever the population is, don't overlook inviting them to be on your board, because this organization is going to serve a need for them, right? And especially if you're not necessarily part of that population, you definitely want to have their expertise. So don't overlook them either as board members. You want to make sure you keep it very diverse, okay? So those are just a couple of questions before we start talking about how do you find them. With the, building the groundwork. One, what are the questions that you're asking? Are you prepared to even engage a board member? If somebody says, yes, I want to be a board member, what now? And do you have the information for them? Are you making most efficient use of your time when you're going to networking events, when you're out in the community? Be thinking about that, because there are untapped pools of resources of people in those spaces that you may be overlooking. All right. So let's say you got all that. Okay, you've been networking, you've been talking to people, you've been going to events, you got your paperwork, you got all that, and you still, for some reason, are just tapped out as it pertains to, where do I go to look for these people? All right, so here's a couple of suggestions. Facebook, social media, please. Y'all know we on here for everything else. We putting, what we ate for dinner, the Christmas trees and everything else. Make sure you use social media to let people know in your circle what you're doing, right? Let them know, give them an opportunity to contribute, or maybe they may not want to be a board member, but they may know someone who may want to be a board member and that they can connect you to. So make sure that you're posting, my organization is such and such. This is what we're looking to do. We're looking for board members in these areas, put maybe the expertise or specific skill types that you're looking for. We're looking for these types of people. This is how you can get involved. So maybe even if you have a website, which I hope you do, at this point, you're recruiting people, you're putting the word out there about your organization. Remember, I tell y'all, your marketing is everything. So hopefully you have a website. Even consider putting maybe a page on the website for board recruitment, so that when you're putting it out there on Facebook and LinkedIn, I have a couple of actual specifics that I'll share with you guys, but LinkedIn has a specific area for nonprofits looking for board members too. So make sure that maybe you might want to have a link that goes to a page on your website where people can, that are interested, can get a little bit more information. They can submit their information. You could even put maybe an embedded form, a short embedded form, and on your website, so that people can make it as easy as possible for people who really want to get involved, especially they might be busy, or they might be sought after, for different nonprofits. You want to make it easy for people to get involved when they want to get involved with you. So use Facebook, LinkedIn, social media. Be very specific about, and then even if you have to, which it's a nonprofit, but you might have to put a couple of dollars up for a sponsored ad, right? For $5 to get it out there in a specific area, for a specific targeted population, and Facebook can do that as well. So make sure you're using the same mediums that you communicate about other stuff that gets out there to people for your nonprofit in the same type of way. So, also, there are organizations, nonprofit organizations, that actually match. They volunteer matching, board matching organizations too, that you should really look into, because again, there's a lot of, the professionals and the people who want to be on boards are having the same issues as you are. They want to identify the best nonprofit organization that they can give their time and their expertise to, and they don't know where to start. So there have been some brilliant organizations, volunteer match organizations, that have come together to make it so that you can find each other. And one of those organizations is the Taproot Foundation. And they have a number of professionals that have different pieces of expertise or different areas of expertise that they're wanting to give to nonprofit organizations in all areas. So not just board members, but even, development people, admin, all of that, marketing people. So the Taproot Foundation is a good place to look and see what that process is. Also, I know in Baltimore, because that's where I am, or in the area, and with my nonprofit organization, there was an organization called Baltimore Volunteers Unlimited, so BVU. And I know that in different states, they have similar organizations like that, Volunteers Unlimited or Volunteer Match. They were very helpful to me, and it's as simple as, one, because you already have your expectations, the description and such, right? Because we talked about that already. That's all they require. You sign up online, and then they try to make a match from there. And like I was saying, for LinkedIn, there's Board Member Connect, which I didn't even know. So make sure you go on LinkedIn and look at that, Board Member Connect. And it's actually nonprofit.linkedin.com. And then there's another organization called BoardNet USA. So really just, those are a couple of ways, volunteer matching organizations that you can really seek after, or that are sought after, that you can really reach out to kind of see if that is a good fit for you. You want to put your eggs in a lot of different baskets. So of course you're putting the information out there on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on your social media, but then also connecting with volunteer organizations that do this, that connect board members to nonprofit organizations. And again, like I said, you have the Taproot Foundation. Make sure you utilize LinkedIn. They have a specific place for nonprofits looking for board members as well. So make sure you do that. Then I'd also say, again, like I said before, go out of your way to be connected. And a lot of times we're in our own space, we're doing our own thing. We don't ever have time for anything except for certain things. This is your nonprofit. Make time to go to events, other people's events. Support other people, and what they're doing in the community, especially when it's around bringing different diverse groups of people together. Make sure you go out of your way to go to these meetings. I can't tell you how many countless meetings. Most of my board members that I've recruited over the years have been from either committees I've sat on or events that I've gone to, and I've made a connection with somebody and I told them about my nonprofit. The nonprofit should come off your lips at every opportunity. You have to talk about it, and make it a point to go to events where there are people there that you may want to have on your board. So step out of your comfort zone and go and support other people. If somebody's having a book signing or a launch event or a fundraiser or whatever, go to the event and network with the people there with your card and with your nonprofit organization information. Okay, I can't stress that enough. Y'all know by now, I always talk about, it's about who you know, who knows you. It's about people. People aren't just going to magically know that you want to recruit board members if you're not talking about it and if you don't put yourself in the right situations to connect with them. I'd also say, you've already, engaged a number of people around the work that you're doing in different capacities. Even before you decided to launch a nonprofit organization, ask them for referrals. Maybe there was someone who gave you some funding for, maybe some seed dollars for your organization. Ask them, who else would you suggest that I reach out to that might be a good fit for my organization that I can meet with? So make sure that, again, you're reaching out, you're asking for referrals, you're talking to people at every single opportunity. Another thing that I would say is have an event. Y'all know me, I love events, okay? So through the different venues that we just talked about. So one, putting it out there on Facebook, putting it out there on LinkedIn, being very succinct. What do you want? What is your organization about? Who are you looking for to serve on your board? And how can they get more information? So whether you have them going to a page off of your website where they can fill out a form, or whether it's, word of mouth, or whether it's the volunteer matching organizations, when you're getting people interested and they're reaching out to you, why don't you invite them to something that they can galvanize around, and you can tell them more about your organization? So, we talk about launch events and launch parties. So something similar to that. As you're going out in the community talking about your organization, why don't you create or schedule a volunteer party or something like that, and say, okay, on this date, I'm having an interest party for the nonprofit. I'm inviting anyone who's interested in volunteering or who may be interested in learning more about what it means to be a board member. Have a short program, invite everybody, to come to that. Have your applications there. Have the written descriptions of what you're looking for in a board member. Have your one pager about your organization. Have maybe someone that you're, if they're of age, because again, we talk about the babies. If you're working with babies, you can't necessarily have a baby up there, a part of the agenda or the program, but have someone from the population you're saying you're going to serve as a part of that event, to get across your passion, to get across why should people get involved with you? Why should they want to volunteer their time with you on the board? So that's a really great way as well. Have an event and invite people. People like to go to events. People like to find out information. So if anybody have any questions, if you have any questions, drop it in the comment box. Also, please be sure to share, because there's a number of people who've been asking, how can I, and I'm going to recap because I know a couple people joined at a different place, but yeah, so those are the top 4 different ways that I would say, how can you reach out and engage people around potentially being a board member for your organization. One thing that I would also say is to make sure that you look out for certain people or avoid certain people. So through all of these different steps, you're going to have people from all walks of life, diverse, reaching out to you, wanting to be on your board. You want to be careful about who you actually invite on your board. Again, as nonprofit visionaries, we're so humble. We're just so excited to accept anybody who cares about what we're doing. It doesn't really, we'll overlook stuff. No, we want to make sure we do this thing right, and we do it right the first time. You get the right people initially, because that's going to determine how easy it's going to be or how difficult it's going to be to actually do the work of the organization. So when you're getting applications and you're getting people that are interested and you're talking to them in conversation, and there's a couple things you want to look out for. So you don't want to recruit people who are just interested in being a part of your nonprofit because they're building their resume and they don't want to do much of anything. They just want to serve on your board so they can say that they're serving on a board that does A, B, and C. We don't want that. We want worker bees. We want people who are going to be consistent, who really care about your mission and are going to contribute. So look out for people who are just, I'm just kind of building my resume, never been on a board before, kind of looking for this other job, so your thing kind of fits in. No, we don't want that. We don't want people who have, celebrity status, who feel like just because they are a celebrity or well known that, they can sit on the board and just do nothing and look dignified. No, they might be good as an advisor if they actually want to contribute, but we don't want people just for the sake. Look, if your heart is not in this, if you really don't care about this population, if you really don't want to contribute to the work of the organization, regardless of your status, we'll be good. Okay, so make sure you look out for people like that. Also, look out for people who are really trying to use or mold your organization into feeling some sort of personal vendetta against something, it said, oh, well, I don't like how the lunch menus in school are, so I'm going to get on this board and I'm going to pressure everybody to shift their mission for what I want them to do. Be careful about those people. If it's not about you, the organization, and the people you're going to serve, then, we can say thank you, but keep it moving. When someone asks, should I get background information? You can do that as part of the application process. You don't really want to make it, extremely cumbersome for people, or make it seem like, okay, well, I want to look at where you live at. I'm going to get your social security number. I'm going to get all that. It's serious. We want to make sure we're vetting people. But as far as, something that's a simple case search, if you're working with a specific population, let's say that, and a disadvantaged population or at-risk population where background checks, you're going to need to, children, if the board members are going to be interacting specifically with the clients and in a setting where everything's protected and everybody has to have criminal background checks, then I would say yes, but that wouldn't necessarily be a part of becoming a board member. Maybe once they become a board member after the fact, and you talk about what are the things as a group the board members as well as staff are going to need to do, and if criminal background checks comes up with that, then yeah, we would do it at that point. But not to say, okay, well, because those cost money, so you're going to pay, especially the federal ones. But a Maryland case search, as part of, you're looking at the application, you're evaluating who you want to be on your board, that's free. Or whatever state you're in, there's public information on folks, so you don't have to pay for that. So if that's part of your due diligence, why not? I would say go for it. Any other questions, y'all? Before I recap on this. All right. So again, going back, what I will say is before, let's answer a few questions before you start thinking, well, how am I going to reach out to people? Where do I need to go to get really good board members? First and foremost, make sure your house is in order. Make sure that you have your letter of agreements, you have a description written up, you have board member expectations. You know what it is you're looking for, right? And you have that written down. So when someone says, I'm all in, what do I do? You can say, well, here you go. Look over this. Let's sit down. Let's meet. Let's go into more detail. So make sure that you have that first and foremost. You also want to know who you're looking for in a board member. You don't just want to cast a wide net and say, whoever comes hitherto, I'm grateful for, let's get to work. No, what types of skills that may be specific to the work that you're doing or that your organization is going to be doing? What types of skills do you need? What types of expertise do you need? And what types of qualities and board members do you want? What's going to mesh well, with what you're doing and the environment and energy that you're trying to create? You want to know what that is so that when people are responding, you'll know or yeah, yay or nay. Okay. How are you asking? And are you asking at every opportunity and every social circle that you're in? This is your baby. This is something you're passionate about. This is something that's going to change the world. If you're not talking about it, or if you're reserved about talking about it in your spaces, people aren't going to know about the nonprofit, or not going to know how they can contribute, or you don't even give them the opportunity to self-identify as wanting to be a part of what you're doing because you don't talk about it. So make sure you're talking about it. And as part of that, make sure you already have your messaging together, your 30-second pitch about your nonprofit organization, making sure that your mission statement is part of that. That, you don't go through all the work of developing mission and vision and all that for nothing. That is a concise statement that is active, not just in writing, but when you're talking to people, you need to be able to spit that out in a way that's passionate, that's engaging, that people are like, I want to be a part of that, or I know somebody that might be good for you and refer you to. So make sure, you're doing that. Are you asking? Who you're asking as well. Don't ignore people who have been in the trenches with you before you decided to start this nonprofit that's been in line with this work. There's people that have volunteered with you, for you, have connected you to someone that have helped give you this vision or shape this vision. Ask them, are they interested in being a board member? Let them know what that means, because they may have never been on a board before. They may not know what that means. They might be intimidated. Give them an opportunity as well. We don't want to just be, we're talking about the cream of the crop, the high echelon, the this, the that. Though they're great, and we want them. But there's also people who bring just as much value, who've been right alongside of you this whole time. You haven't even looked at them. Ask them about it as well. Okay. Then we get into, okay, so I've done all that. Where do I go? So again, LinkedIn, Facebook, use your social networks, use your own networks to tap into who might be interested and who might be a good fit. Put the information out there. Make it easy for people to respond to. If you want to, on your website, have a page specific for board recruitment. Anybody that's coming along that sees, maybe searching for something in your field and you pop up, they can go to a tab that says, okay, well, I might want to be a board member for this organization. There's the information there. There might be a short form there. Make it easy for people to connect with you. Use your social networks first and foremost. Bam. Then you also want to look at volunteer matching organizations, where this is what they do. They connect nonprofits to board members or to volunteers who want to serve in the capacity of board members. One such organization is called the Taproot Foundation. Google them, go on their website, see what their steps are to getting connected to them. There's other places like Volunteer Match. I know, like I said, in Baltimore, there's Baltimore Volunteers Unlimited, BVU. Same sort of thing, matching professionals to nonprofit organizations. So make sure you're looking for entities like that. And again, if you don't know where to find LinkedIn, put a message out there. I'm looking for organizations that match nonprofits with potential board members. Any suggestions? And I'm telling you, you get a slew of responses from that way as well. So make sure you're utilizing those as well. Also, make sure that you're attending the networking events in the community. You make it a point to attend other people's meetings that are in the nonprofit community. You make it a point to find those organizations or those events where there's going to be funders or foundations that are there as well, because there's a lot of nonprofit organizations where funders serve on the board, of large foundations. They're on the boards of organizations. So go where they are. Go to their meetings. Go to fundraisers. Go to other people's meetings. Be supportive, added support, volunteer, whatever. But make sure you get out of your comfort zone of, I'm going to go to these events that I feel comfortable with, and then, hope I find somebody there. Step outside. Go to other people's events and network with the people that are there and share your 30-second elevator pitch for your nonprofit organization. The more you get out there, the more you identify people who are a potential good fit to help you at your organization. Again, I will say from personal experience, my boards have been people that I've either been in leadership programs with, or that I have met through other nonprofit organizations at their events, or sitting on committees. Things like that. As you're going to different conferences and you're meeting people that are like-minded or are interested in similar fields, that's the pool of people too that you're going to be. Those are going to be your board members. Okay. So, make sure you're supporting other people. When you want support, what they say, when you want support, give support. When you want some money, give some money. Nobody say how much. You give $10, you get some money back. It's a universal law, okay? So get out there, support other people. You'll get the support that you need. Also, schedule it or plan an event for volunteers, for people who might be interested in being on the board or volunteering in some other capacity. Libraries, you can, host an event at different libraries for free. So reach out to a library, plan a small information session so that all of these events that you're going to, the people that you're reaching out to, you can say, listen, on this day, I'm going to have a volunteer event or a volunteer, name it something cool. We're going to have a community engagement party, whatever that is. Okay. And invite people to come to that. Have a short agenda, have a short program where you're telling people about the nonprofit. You've got the population that you're saying that you're going to serve there, or people who are affected by it that can speak to the importance. You have your job description or your description for your board members, what they're going to be doing, what you're going to need them to do there. You have your application there. You have everything in one place. Invite them to come to you, right? But you have to get out in the community and plant the seeds in the ways that I suggested, and other ways. I'm just giving you things that have worked for me. And I've had up to 15, 16 people on my board. You go over that, you want to you get a little, overwhelmed. Be careful. You don't want too many people. But I'm just saying, it's all about the people. It's all about the networks. Having an event for them to come together. Make sure that you're looking out for certain types of people. Now, you're going to get all kinds of people that's going to, reach out to you and say, I want to be on your board. There needs to be an evaluation process. So once you've gotten everybody, you've got a whole bunch of applications of people who say that they want to be involved with you, you must have a process on vetting those people. And hopefully that you do that with people who are currently you've identified maybe as your initial board, in conjunction or partnership with them. Most definitely, if you already have a couple of people, make sure that they're part of that evaluation process and they're vetting people. And you're looking out for people who are just wanting to use their celebrity status to be sitting there doing nothing. You don't want them. You don't want people who are trying to build their resume without putting work into your organization. They just sort of want to say that they're on your organization's board. You want to look out for those people. You want to look out for people who just want to sort of see if they can infiltrate what you do and for personal benefit, by getting on your board to change something. Then they try to finagle internally, get you to change your mind on mission creep in order to do something that they want to do. So you want to look out for those people, those red flags, just a couple. But in a nutshell, those are some really good ways to start on how to solicit and engage new board members around your nonprofit organization. Again, if you need additional support, if you need some one-on-one time with me, ShalitaO'Neal.com. I also would encourage you to join our membership, the #NonprofitNoFilter membership, because as part of that, in our Facebook page, I'll be posting different links to forms, to different resources on all kinds of topics, boards, raising funds. We can really be in a group together to support each other. There's other people who are going through the same sort of process that you may be going through, that you can offer something, they can offer something. We could work on this one-on-one together. So I encourage you, ShalitaO'Neal.com. Take a look at it. And if there's no other questions, y'all, I thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on Friday, again at 12 p.m. Eastern for a #NonprofitNoFilter discussion. Let me know. Drop in the comment box. Are there certain things that you're grappling with, certain issues that maybe I have not covered or that I maybe touched on, but you want me to go into detail about on the next video conference? Drop it in the comment box and I'll make sure that I address it and we'll talk about it. Okay? All right, y'all. Happy hump day. Holidays is coming. Don't be out there with all the crazies doing last minute shopping. Go ahead and get what you need to get done. All right? And I'll see you soon. Have a blessed one.